Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and this video is about MCQ series for net, set and gate. So if you like my content, then like, share and subscribe my channel to get the notification of any video. So let's move to the question. This question is asked in GATE 2021. Literary criticism considered which one of the following texts as offering the strongest support for mimetic theories of art? First option is Plato Republic, Longinus on Sublimity. Third option is Horace, The Art of Poetry. And last option is Aristotle, Poetics. So the option is answer D, Aristotle, Poetics. Now we will see the explanation. Aristotle, Poetics, it is a Greek dramatic theory and it is a treatise, okay, and it contains 26 chapters, and this 26 chapters जो है वो डील करता है different forms of poetry, nature of poetry, poetic truth and tragedy. Chapter 1 to 3 जो है वो डील करता है with the poetry as imitation, poetry as a medium and the object and the manner of representation. Then chapter 4 treats the historical origin of poetry. Chapter 5 epic poetry. Chapter 6 definition of tragedy. Chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 it is about a plot and the tragedy and the types of plot and the requirements of plot. Then chapter 9 and 25 it deals with the historic truth and the poetic truth. Now chapter 12 it deals with the elements of tragedy. Chapter 13 reversal of fortune in tragedy. Then chapter 14 pity and fear along with the emotion of catharsis. Then chapter 15 character in tragedy and the notion of tragic hero. Then chapter 16, 17, 18 devices used in tragedy such as reversal and recognition. Then chapter 19, 28, 21 and 22 it deals with diction, language and thought and style. Then chapter 23 and 24 it deals with the distinction between the epic and tragedy. Then chapter 6 where he proves superiority of tragedy. Now let's move where Aristotle defined poetics. Okay, that means we will look at the how Aristotle defined that means Aristotle poetics defines different kinds of poetry. Okay, and it explains the structure of a good and consider poetry as a form of imitation. So ये जो है एक्सप्लेन करता है क्या द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अ गुड एंड द एंड कंसिडर पोइट्री, जो मतलब वो पोइट्री को कंसिडर करता है एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ इमिटेशन की तरह. ठीक है, सो वो पोइट्री को डिफाइन ही करता है एज अ मीडियम ऑफ इमिटेशन दैट ट्राइज टू रिप्रेजेंट लाइफ. ठीक है, वो लाइफ को रिप्रेजेंट करता है थ्रू कैरेक्टर के थ्रू, इमोशंस एंड एक्शंस के थ्रू. So he further classifies poetry also such as epic poetry, tragedy, comedy, dithyrambic poem and some kinds of music. Then Aristotle defines tragedy according to 7 characteristics also, that it is mimetic, it is serious, it tells a full story of an appropriate length, then it contains rhythm and harmony, and then rhythm and harmony occurs in different combinations. Okay, then it is performed rather than narrated. Okay, then it arouses the feelings of what? Pity and fear, and then purges these feelings through catharsis. Now a tragedy consists of 6 components parts, okay, which are listed here in order. Okay, and from most important to least important. So the most important one is the plot, that is mythos, then character, that is ethos, thought, dionysia, then diction, lexis, melody, melos and spectacle, opsis. So this is very important, learn it. Then Aristotle proceed to his definition of tragedy. This definition is very important. Tragedy is a representation of a serious, complete action which has a magnitude in embellished speech with each kind of artistic ornament. The several kinds of being found in separate parts of the play and represented in the form of action and not by narration, through pity and fear, and affecting the proper purgation of these emotions. So this is the definition, and this definition is very much important. From there questions may be asked. Okay, plot is the soul of the tragedy. So a plot must have a beginning, middle and end. Okay, and it must be also universal and have a determinate structure and maintain a maintain a unity of theme and purpose. Now we will look at the key terms in poetics. Okay, so first term is the catharsis. So catharsis is defined as the purging of the emotions of pity and fear, okay, that occurs when we watch a tragedy. Then the next term is agnosis, that means recognition or discovery. ओके ऐसा होता है ट्रेजेडी में जहाँ पे ऐसा मोमेंट आता है जहाँ पे हीरो जो होता है और कोई भी अदर कैरेक्टर एक ऐसे सिचुएशन से पास करता है जहाँ पे उसको वो इग्नोरेंट रहता है किसी चीज़ के बारे में, उसको पता नहीं होता, उसको लास्ट में वो पता चलता है कि ये तो मेरे से ही रिलेटेड है. जैसे वो रिकॉग्निशन हो सकता है कि मान लो क्योंकि लॉस्ट फ्रेंड है, उसका फ्रेंड था बट उसको वो चीज़ नहीं पता रहती है, बट उसको पता चलता है कि ही इज़ a long lost friend or family member. So it will be a sudden recognition of some fact, okay, about oneself. So this is about agnosis and it occurs at the climax of a tragedy. Okay, now next term is hamartia. Hamartia is translate almost directly as error हुआ, ठीक है, और we often say as tragic flaw in a character. ट्रेजेडी में क्या होता है कि जो हीरो का डाउनफॉल होता है वो कुछ ना कुछ कहीं ना इफेक्टेड रहता है कुछ एरर के द्वारा, ओके, ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द हीरो के ही पार्ट से, ठीक है. तो दैट इज हेमर्शिया. एंड ये जो रहता है मे बी इट कुड बी अ सिंपल मैटर ऑफ नॉट नोइंग समथिंग और फॉरगेटिंग समथिंग. ओके, नाउ पेरिपेटिया. व्हाट इज पेरिपेटिया? अ रिवर्सल, ओके, आइदर फ्रॉम गुड टू बैड और बैड टू गुड. ओके, सो गुड टू बैड, कुछ बुरे से अच्छा होना, कुछ बुरे से अच्छा या अच्छे से बुरा. सो ये जो होता है अकर होता है एट द क्लाइमैक्स ऑफ द स्टोरी, ठीक है, स्टोरी के क्लाइमैक्स में. एंड Indeed, we might say that the peripetia is the climax of a story. So ये climax होता है कि अब कोई बुरा से वो अच्छा हो जा रहा है और कोई अच्छा से खराब हो जा रहा है. So it is the climax. So it is the turning point in the action where things begin to move towards a conclusion. Now, mimesis. This is translated as imitation. So mimesis in poetry is the act of telling stories that are set in real world, ठीक है. that means they are set in the events in the story जो होते हैं वो story नहीं हो, that means they are not taking place in a real world, it is taken a fictional, उसको एक fictional type का बताया जाता है. but by telling the story we feel that, or the listener or viewer imagine that these events have been taken place in a real world. Okay, so this is about poetics. Now let's move to the Plato Republic. So it is a Socratic dialogue and it is authored by Plato, and it is the order and it is concerning the justice, the order, the character and character of the just city, state and just man. And it is the best to work, okay. And it in dialogue Socrates discuss the meaning of justice and whether the just man is happier than the unjust man with various Athenians and foreigners. Okay, so setting is the Peloponnesian War, okay, at the time of this war. Socrates, who is the narrator of the Republic, then Glaucon, you can read this. Okay, now let's move to the Longinus on sublimity. So it is also a Roman era Greek work of literary criticism, and Longinus is also known as or referred as Pseudo Longinus, and this work is a classic work and on aesthetics and the effects of good writing, and this is a treatise highlights the example of good and bad writing, okay, from the previous millennium, and focusing particularly on what may lead to the sublime. Now let's move to the Horace, the art of poetry. So Ars Poetica, or we can say the art of poetry. So it is by Horace, 19 BC, and in which he advises poets on the art of writing poetry and drama. So firstly, it is translated into English by Ben Jonson, and the third point is that it is divided into three parts: poesis, poema and poeta. So the title was given by the Quintilian, okay, and there are 4 quotations which are particularly associated with the work, okay, and these 4 quotations are very important: in medias res, into the middle of things, okay, that describe a narrative technique of starting the story from its middle point, and ABOVO, that means from the beginning, then QUANDOQUE, BONUS, dormitat, HOMERSURUS, that means sometimes even good humor nods off. So these are the very difficult words. Now pictura, that means PICTURA, poesis, that means as in painting so is poetry. This is already asked in the next exam, so it is important. Then there are key terms which are used by the Horace, that is decorum, purple patches, then misquit, utile, dulce, okay, that means MISCUIT, UTILE, and DULCI, that is a mix of useful and sweet. So these are the very difficult word. So then this is also asked in the exam, so important. Then the next term is DELECTANDO, okay, PARITERQUE, MONENDO, that means delighting and advising. Then there is also term Dux ex machina, okay, so it Horace is against this Dux ex machina, and this Dux ex machina is not coined by Horace, okay, and it is coined by Euripides. So there is a missing one word, that is, so sorry for that. So this is about the Horace, and these key terms are already asked in the next exam, so please read it, and thank you so much. And if you like, I hope you will like it, and please stay tuned with my channel.